All right, I'm back, and I'll kick it off with unpacking the major story of the other day, which was the trade of Victor Boot for Britney Griner. That was the blockbuster deal that was announced. For those of you who don't know who the players are, let's unpack this story. Britney Griner is a WNBA basketball player. For those of you who didn't even know there was a Women's Basketball Association, fair enough, can't blame you, given the fact that the viewership is about the same as the parliamentary channel. Anyway, that's a different story. Britney was caught entering Russia with drugs back in February of this year. A lot of players go to Europe to play in the off season because that's where they make money. And the Russians have a zero tolerance policy, and she had some drugs in some vaping products. Anyway, right or wrong, you can feel whatever you want about it. It's their country, their rules. They arrested her, tried her, convicted her, and sentenced her to prison. Right at the outset, all the virtue signaling people were out because they wanted Britney released. Why was it so important to have Britney released? Well, Britney's black, she's a woman, and she's a lesbian. Hit all the key boxes, the demographics were hit. So the Biden administration went on full throttle to try to get her released. And they, right at the outset, said, you know what, we'd even be willing to trade a guy like Victor Boot for her. Now, for those of you who don't know who Victor Boot is, well, let's kind of unpack that. Victor Boot is a international arms dealer. That's right. He is got the nickname Merchant of Death. Now, you don't get a cool nickname like that by just doing party tricks or killing them with your jokes. No, Victor is like I said, international arms dealer. He distributed weapons throughout the world. Which parts of the world? Well, he distributed weapons in Africa, and he equipped any side and every side. If you've seen the Nicolas Cage movie, Lord of War, that's who Victor is. That was the depiction of his life. And most of these weapons wound up in the hands of young black children. He also equipped the international terrorist organizations throughout the Middle East, which resulted in deaths across the Middle East. And then, of course, not to exclude any group, he also worked with the drug cartels as well, which resulted in the deaths of a lot of DEA agents and other folks. So basically, Victor is not a good guy. And you would think in any rational world, trading a black lesbian basketball player who's a woman for this individual doesn't make any sense. You'd be wrong though. In the world we live in today, it makes perfect sense because it allows you to virtue signal and it tells people that you care. However, a few takeaways I'd want you to kind of think about this when one of your leftist liberal friends thinks this was a great idea. First off, if they support gun control, say, really? You support gun control? If you really believed what you say, you never release a guy like Victor. In fact, why? Well, he distributed tens and tens of thousands of guns throughout the world. So that's an argument that doesn't fly. It makes absolutely no sense because, it makes no sense. Next, I would have them or ask them, if Britney was a white Christian woman, would the trade have been about the same? I don't think so. I really don't think that would have been the trade. I think it would have been hard pressed. She'd still be doing hard time, and God knows they'd probably forget all about her. So that is the irony of the times we're living in and the people that we're dealing with. That logic and common sense don't mean a whole lot as long as you can virtue signal and you can satisfy all the key demographic groups that you're after, especially these days. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. And the other thing that just comes to mind is Black Lives Matter. We hear that all the time. Well, given the fact that Victor basically equipped a lot of young black folks, children, in a lot of cases, who killed one another, do Black lives really matter? I don't know. Anyway, just some things that I want to leave you with and some thoughts. The thing that I found really kind of funny with this was that I listened to a press briefing by President Biden who said that the negotiations were difficult and tenuous and hard, and we worked super hard. Well, let's see, Mr. President, you offered up Victor right from the start, and Victor is who the Russians got in the end. Doesn't sound like it was quite the art of the deal, like the former president. I think I would call it the fart of the deal, because it smells bad, my friend. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can also follow me on my Rumble and my Locals account. If you're new to the channel, haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And if you're new, check out some of the other videos, and I will see you next time.